I'm live. Can you hear me? Make sure the microphone is working. Whew, does it go up? There we go. Sorry. Sorry to anyone who's there, and I just yelled into the microphone. You're awake now, which is more than I can say for myself. Today might be a 2-cup of coffee kind of day. Let's move that out of the screen, the shot. Although if it's not close enough, I can't see it. I'm very blind, even in glasses. Whew, all right. Welcome to the live. I am live and I'm making stuff. I'm working on my fairy lantern and I've been storing everything in this cardboard box for wet cat food. So let's take it out and try to remember where we left off. It's a challenge. Remember what I was doing last. I have started to write myself a list so that I can remember what I'm working on. And I know that last time I was live, I had some work to do off in the garage. I did it right after the live session because I knew I'd forget otherwise. So I know that's done. So we are working on a couple of different things today, and I've got even more supplies because I have a feeling I'm going to get to doing some fun, like sculpting stuff, maybe. Okay. Working on my fairy lantern, I am in the process of tiling my roof. Ta-da! Which doesn't look so bad. I've got another layer to go. And then I need to detail the body, and I need to figure out the base, which I already did, and add some kind of a mechanical key to it that locks and a place to hold onto it. I need to decorate it because right now it's looking a little bare bones. And I need to build the thing that goes inside of it, which I'm actually like, of all the steps that I've got in front of me, the thing inside of it is the part that's like really got me excited. So I'm going to get done what I need to get done first, which is tiling the next layer of tiles on this roof. And I've been using felt and foam tacky glue for tiles pre-cut, although I'm going to set them aside because I've got some strips that I also pre-cut early on because I have a feeling I am going to need more than what I have. In fact, let's just preemptively, before we get ourselves into trouble, 2, 3. I bet I'm guessing, and that's just this layer. There will still be more layers. So maybe we attend to cutting some more because I will not have enough. I wonder if anyone's going to be able to join me. I had a little bit of a hiccup with my stream. Technical hiccup, which was 100% my fault this time. This was totally my fault. When I scheduled the stream, which I like to do in advance, I accidentally selected like how I was going to be doing the stream, and right now you're just seeing me through a web camera that's attached to my laptop that's on my YouTube account, and I selected the stream, and so I had to go back and fix it. So we'll see if anyone makes it today, because I know weirdness can be challenging. Weirdness can be challenging, and I definitely technical weirdness on the other side that may not be survivable. That's fine. That's okay. All right. Do I even remember? Like, I know so many weeks ago when I started this, I actually had measurements for these. They are 3/4 by 1 1/4. Okay. So I'm just going to go through and just cut a couple more of them with my utility blade and my ruler. Not riveting content. In fact, I might just, do I want to score and then go back and cut with my scissors? No, I'm just going to cut them. It's just kind of tedious. This is the type of task that I would definitely throw on my favorite anime or TV show or whatever it is I'm binging in the moment and just like zone out and do this. But we're together. So I'm just going to keep chattering because that's what I do most of the day. For this fairy lantern for sure, but also a larger vision for this fairy lantern project. I know on previous streams I've talked about how I just like love this project. It's super fun. And actually, I'm going to just double check a couple of things really quick. Make sure it's public thumbnail audience. Oh. Has updated some things just this week that is more than it was before. We'll see if anyone shows up. It might just be me. I might just, oh no, someone give me a thumb up. That means I know who's out there. Hello. I was just about to text you to see if it was working. And clearly it is. That's good. Okay. Well, next time I schedule a stream, I will know what pitfalls to avoid so I don't run into the same last minute technical issues, because this one was my own fault. Last time it was the internet, but this time it was me. Okay, so I'm just cutting out more roofing tiles because we have a couple more layers to go and we've run out of them in our stash that we initially cut out. My thinking with this pattern, and I haven't done a whole lot more like off-camera work aside from just finishing up the in-garage stuff that I needed to do last time. But my thinking with this is that I want to modify the pattern so that it is something that is easily cut outable by hand or by machine or robot, whatever you've got in your own maker space. And that way I can share it, and there will be a lot of different ways that people can build it. I'm starting to feel some of the pressure of having events coming up. I'm working really hard, and I make a point not to con crunch because it stresses me out. And I have a lot of ideas, and it's just me doing all this. And sometimes I just don't get to them because some things take longer than other things. And I am never good at estimating the amount of time required to finish a project. I'd love to meet the person who is good at that and then pick their brain on how they're good at that, because sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally do that in a day. That's not a big deal. And then 10 days later, I'm still noodling away at something. And anyways, all that to say, I have some stuff coming up in May and June, and that's like my timeline for having these things finished. But I have some earlier deadlines in March that I need to attend to. So I'm starting to feel a bit. I wouldn't mind having some extra hands in the shop every once in a while, just to help out. I don't think I need very many tiles. I think I can get away with probably this last strip will be more than enough to finish up the roof. Anyways, the long and the short of that story was that as I think about this pattern and how I want to modify it so I can share it with more people, I've been thinking about at a cosplay competition at WasabiCon, and we had a contestant who did a bunch of foam work and cut it all out with a pair of scissors. And the I don't know how this person did it. It was such good work, so intricate and really precise. I couldn't have accomplished what they accomplished. But that's one way someone might approach doing foam work. Someone might also use a utility knife, or I've got a friend who only uses X-Acto knives, which I really admire because they intimidate me. They feel so official and arty. And then I've got people in my life other makers that I know would use their robot or their laser cutter or their Cricut or their, whatever they've got at arm's reach to do this. So all that to say, there's lots of different ways to prepare pattern files, and I just need to pick a couple and then stick with it and probably try them out too. I think that's probably enough tiles for finishing up this entire lantern. Put them back into a pile. Just a little tile. And back to the felt and the foam glue and to the rooftop. I do like how this glue has been working out. It is surprisingly stout once it dries. And because I have no problem working with hot glue on foam, but what I like about this is that it gives you a little bit of time to kind of like fuss over what you're doing and get the right, like the way you want it to, or the way I want it to. I should speak to my experience on this. I've been really happy with how it's working out. Plus, I don't know about anyone out there who's crafting right now, but it's almost a guarantee, no matter what I do with hot glue, at some point in time, I'm going to burn myself. Really severe hot burns that I more of. No repeat performances on that, please. So I like this because I would have to move kind of quickly with the hot glue. And that to me sets the stage for something unfortuitous to happen. Let's see. I do like that, the higher we go in the tiers on this roof, the easier, like the quicker it is because there's fewer tiles. So this one's going by real quick. Already done with 2 sides. Get those a little bit uneven. I'm gonna shift that up just a little bit. There's 2. Hot glue burns are battle scars in the crafting world. I agree. Although one time I burned myself so badly that I got a 2nd-degree burn, and I couldn't. I remember because I was about to go on a trip, and I couldn't go into the hot tub, or I had to. It was on my hand, so when I did, I had to like hold my hand up because the burn was so bad, and I was so worried about it getting infected with pool water, even though there's chlorine. So I want to repeat. Gosh, that one hurt because every time I bent my finger, which happened more times than I'd like to admit, I was reminded of my own stupidity. It wasn't the hot glue gun's fault. It was definitely a user error. Last side. Here we go. I've been working on a side project because I'm doing some things that I can't quite talk about yet, but very, very soon I can. And I think I can show you. Like it's my own work that I'm showcasing for something that I can't talk about yet. So there, I've been working on this side, and I am at the point, I get to this point with every project. I get to about the 75% done, maybe even closer to like 85% done. Like we see the end. It is in view. I can count the number of days that I think it's going to take to get there, the number of steps. And this to me is the most dangerous part of a build because I start to lose motivation to like finish it up. I've literally spent days patterning and sewing and assembling and building and painting and blah, 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 blah. And now I am looking at the last couple of steps and I just like, oh, do I have to finish it? And I am saying that because we're not that close yet to this fairy lantern project. We're still in kind of like the fun, exciting, like exploration build phase, but I bet since I'm experiencing it so intensely right now on this project that I can kind of talk about, but not really talk about, that I bet we'll you'll get a sense of, you'll get a good show of it with this one too. Uh, that's my March deadline is what you're looking at behind me. Start of March. And it came around faster than February ended faster than I thought it would, which is good in a lot of ways. Winters are hard, and the faster we get through winter, the better. And I just make it like I count the days. February 937th. We're almost there, but we're not quite. I'm just trimming down some of these smaller corner tiles because they're just a little too big. Oh, that one didn't get in the trash at all. Did it? Oh, it did. Okay. And somehow February both took forever to we're like the 10,000th day of February. I mean, January lasts at least 12,000 days. February is starting to get up there too, but it did go by a little bit faster than I thought it would. And I still have things to do, and I'm looking down the gauntlet of almost being finished. But then once I do, I can come back of this and the patterning and get that figured out and what that pattern is going to look like for sharing, for people who cut it out by hand, by robot, by scissors, which will be, I'm looking forward to it. All right, these corner ones are giving me because I'm starting to get to a point where the tiling is getting a little bit smaller and harder to pack together. It's not, I mean, it's gluing down foam. So we're not in a life or death situation for sure, but a little less secure than I'd like them to be, a little less fitted than I'd like them to be. There's some corners that are sticking out that I might go back and trim them up. I know enough working with this glue now, having done so many roof tiles, that I will do that next time if I remember. That stuck to me. Because right now I just want this glue to set. Oh, 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 oh. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect, except I just want it to be like a little bit perfect. It's like medium perfect. Medium perfection. Perfection diet. Perfection light. Get this one on too. All right, one more corner to go. Oops, I knocked that tile off completely. Okay, so that is something that I am. It's looking good. I am struggling with a little bit in that the glue, I guess it's a good and a bad thing, a pro and a con. The glue does allow you to make these little adjustments. However, if you've got fingers that tend to smush on stuff, you could knock something out of orbit accidentally and not catch it in time to attend to it. So I'm going to bear that in mind. Let's see. North of the border says, not just, I love north of the border. Not just good. It's good enough. Yeah, my partner and I quote north of the border. I don't know if he ever anticipated that he'd reach that level of like YouTube celebrity stardom, but not just good enough is one of our regular, like it's made it into the rotation amongst, honestly, mostly Bob's Burgers quotes. That show sees me in a way that I don't think I've ever been seen before. Okay, so we got We got the next row. It's riveting stuff, really, putting tiles on a roof. But there we go. Like, I can see the end in sight. We might be able to finish it up next time. I think this journey, well, maybe the next two, because then we got to do the corner ones. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to set this one off to the side to let it dry somewhere. Maybe I'll just keep it right there off in the corner. Okay, we've done that. I'm going to pick up all these little shavings because they will start to stick to you and you'll find them in all the weirdest places. I just found one. I was styling a wig in my bathroom downstairs and I just found, because I was sweeping up all the hair that I'd styled off of it, there were just a bunch of foam scraps in my bathroom, which made me feel like I don't keep a clean house, except I do. In fact, I have like an army of robots that helps me do it. So those foam, their pieces are nefarious. Last time I was working on engineering this bottom because I want it to be able to, I'm pretty sure Louise, someone has like hacked my life story, that child. So I have engineered this bottom base piece to sit in here to like bloop, 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 bloop. Because I went out in the garage and used my rotary tool to just drill them in really precisely. They match some of the pieces, the holes that I have drilled in the edges here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and install my magnets so that I can start to get them in place. And I install magnets two ways. One, I will super glue them in to get like an immediate fit, but I don't use, what is it? Does this make sense? There's like an immediate cure setting spray that you can spray onto it. And I actually avoid this stuff. I don't like the way it feels. And also, unless you really clean it up afterwards, I have had finishing problems in the spots where the spray has hit. So I know it's a technique thing on my part, not a product issue. But I also like to use Cosbond. Oh, this is my last sheet of reinforcer. I don't know what's going on with the company, if it's out of business or what. I've emailed them and not heard anything back. But I love this product for encasing the magnets. So like sandwich them between a thin layer of the reinforcer, and that they're not going anywhere. Like they're not going to budge at all. And the reinforcer is so thin that it's negligible practically after you prime it and plasti dip and paint. So I think it's time to put our magnets in, and I'm going to start with the base magnets because I feel like it. No, is there a reason? Let me think about this for a second. Order of operations is important. I know I need to get the magnets in here before I start to decorate this because I have to put layers over it, and it's easier to put a magnet into it when you have access to both sides rather than trying to go from the other side. Plus, I can double check then that they match this one. Yeah, so I should do this one first. But I don't know that my punches, I was looking at them, they're a little anemic. So maybe I will just jam something in there. Let me just reach over here. This is certainly a professional, super professional technique. Let's just jam a pen in there and kind of widen the openings. Yeah. This is fortunately, unfortunately, also how I install grommets into corsets and clothing. As I use an awl, and I just kind of like slowly open space between the weft and the weave. Okay. The first one, it doesn't matter which way the magnets go, but from then on, it does matter. Let's get. Oh man, my super glue it has been living a really good life and it's seen better days. I'm going to put a drop in each of these. So it's unforgiving. Super glue is unforgiving with both foam and magnets. I'm just going to stick up a magnet in there and shear it. I don't know that I'm going to be able to catch this on camera. magnet in, sheared off. And there are my 2 magnets in. And now I'm going this way. Don't forget that, Christy. Okay. I'm going to hold it. Not good in there. Not good in there. Close it. The way I'm going to be putting my magnets in. And, oh, did I get it too late? No, go in. Down. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. All right. Okay. So I'm holding my magnets down. So I know that's the way they're supposed to be installed into the foam. Not good here. Pat back on. It's not necessarily that time is of the essence. It's that attention is really important. And I am dyslexic. So sometimes worst enemy. I thought not good. Not good. Not that you can see it. You just have to trust me. The next set of magnets in, the last set of magnets in, and if I did this right, then they should all be facing the way. Their poles should be facing the same way. Here's my magnets. Look at that. Little magnets in there. Let's double check. Okay, I got stick there. I got stick there. I got stick there. If I screwed up, I probably wouldn't be able to rescue it, but I would know for installing the magnets here. But we are all good. That side down like that. I'm just gonna let the glue get set and then run my fingers to get a thin layer of super glue on me. Always the case, but also just make sure they're all flat. And I think they are. Do I believe these magnets are going to be strong enough to place? I'm not sure. We're doing like a little bit of a science experiment here. Oh, the super glue needs to dry first. Otherwise, I will glue the bottom to the top. And that's bad. That's not good. Let's make sure we close this too so it doesn't leak. Okay. While that dries, which won't take very long, I'll just set it off to the side. Do we still need to worry about magnets and technology being close together? I'm pretty sure we don't, but I don't know that it's a great thing. So I'm just going to set that over there. And cut a couple of pieces of Cosbond. I'm thinking about, this is my last precious sheet of reinforcer. But I am committed to not treating anything precious in my makerspace. Otherwise I won't use it. But it is like, I want to be smart about how I use it and cut it. So I think I'm going to cut it along the long edge. So I always have a long edge in the future. Does that make sense? It does in my brain. Let me trim off. There's always a little bit extra that doesn't have adhesive on it. I'm just going to trim that off. Man. Sorry, what is Cosbond? Oh, so there's a story. Years ago, Cosbond made a double-sided tape that they marketed to cosplayers as a way to like hold foam pieces together. And it was good, double-sided tape. It worked in a pinch. It was great, like Conflor medic materials. And then they produced this tape called Reinforcer. And I don't know what the magic is with this, but it is one of the strongest tapes that I've ever used. And it's really, really thin. It's very flexible. It's like, it's got better adhesive powers than duct tape, and it's thinner than duct tape. I use it when I need to be inside and you're not going to see it. Hold a magnet in that I know is going to get a ton of tension being pulled out. I'll just put a layer over the top. But I don't know that Cosbond is a brand anymore. Worried the company is no longer in existence, no longer selling their product online. And I don't know, like I've used this stuff. I'm going to date myself. Years ago, I cosplayed as Ganondorf from the Zelda game and from Twilight Princess. I was competing at Rose City Comic Con and I made a breastplate and it was held together by Velcro. And I wore that costume for 14 hours that day. And I got to hour like 9. I was like, I think I need a break. So I went to take it off and my body heat had totally melted through all the back attachment glue. And they were contact cemented and hot glued and taped down. And so I just tore the whole thing apart. And, I was I had a couple hours between that and walking the stage. And I had a pack of Cosbond in my cosplay repair kit. And I grabbed it and I used it to tape everything back together. And that I wore that costume like 5 or 6 times after it, just being held together by Cosbond. It's such a good adhesive, the reinforcer, not the double-sided tape. I don't know what magic this is, but that sold me when I was in a pinch. It not only fixed the I wish I had done earlier on. I like it because it's almost like it's got the strength of having stitched something when you're working with foam. I speak to other materials, but you didn't have to like punch any holes in it. So this sheet, let me take the sticker off. I bought it through Amazon. But here's I'll let you see. There's not in the light. That's the brand of it, Cosbond. This is like, gosh, I hope they're not out of business. I'd be really sad. That's a gem. It's one of those, like, you don't see it a lot, but when you need it and having the right material makes all the difference. You can make duct tape work. I use electrical tape on and that works okay, but this is just got a stronger adhesion. I mean, it's kind of like contact cement. If you find that you need to remove it, you're going to destroy your foam in the process. And that's the kind of adhesive permanent that I like to use, but there's the caveat. It's permanent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and just cut some little piece. If I want to be like, how precious do I want to be? I think I just want to put a little strip over it. So let's cut these into 1 inch. 1 inch. I was going to measure it on my cutting mat and make a mark, and I'll use a pair of scissors. That's another really nice thing about this product is you can cut it with scissors, or you can cut it with a utility knife. It marks well. They should hire me on their marketing and sales pitch team. I can speak praises about this. I have less positive things to say about their double-sided tape, but the reinforcer, worth its weight. Let's see. I doubt they'll want to sponsor me after having said that. Ever. Not that they ever reached out. Cosmond, are you alive? All right, we're going to cut these. I need 8 of them into 1 inch strips. It's almost like, it's not, I use a lot of different tapes. I think when you start building stuff, you also start to build a library of adhesives and tapes. And so I have a lot of different adhesives and a lot of different tapes. And there are a couple that I use, like when in doubt, I will use reliably and regularly. Electrical tape has made the cut. It is featured in a lot of my builds. Reinforcers, another. And the 15-minute epoxy by Bob Smith Industries is another one that I use. So see, it's just like, it's got an adhesive back and front. It's just pretty sticky. And all I'm going to do is take it and just put it right on top of my foam and my magnet, just like that. And that magnet is never coming out of there, ever. It lives there forever now. It's its new home. I'm going to do that again. Especially like, so this might be, I don't know that a lot of my builder friends who are like aiming for more masculine shapes, they don't think about this a lot. But usually when I'm building armor, it's pretty feminine. It's got, you know, like a breastplate with a lot of curves. I'm trying to look strong, but not look bigger. So I work with foam, like 4mm foam for that. Sometimes 6mm foam, although that's kind of getting, like, after a couple layers, you can get a lot of thickness and a lot of heat from that. So material choice is really important. I want thin stuff. I want strong stuff. And when you start to pack like adhesives on top of foam, on top of layers of foam, on top of all that stuff, it can get really, really bulky. And I have been deducted points in craftsmanship competitions for things like that. So I'm really purposeful in what I choose. And that's another thing I like about this product, is that it's really, really thin. So I will choose products based on that too. If they work really well and I can hide them, they don't distort the silhouette that I'm aiming for. Last one. Did I cut too many? What was I doing? Was I talking too much? I wasn't paying attention. It's a problem. All right. Take a look at that. It's got little layers, 2 on each side. Those magnets are in there forever. They're never, ever leaving. I'm going to have to rebuild the piece if I screw it up, or if I did screw it up, which is more likely what happened. Let's see. Now we can put this over it. Yeah. So the good news is that it also has a bit of a friction fit, which is nice. So it's got some natural, not air fitness. Do I have enough? I do have enough magnets. It just felt like that file got a lot smaller. And I don't want to discount a friction fit, because with foam, it can be enough sometimes if I don't put too much weight on it, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So we're going to put magnets into it. And I'm going to figure out how to put, last time I was talking about like adding some kind of mechanical key that crosses through or into these pieces so that I have a physical way of like taking stuff out. I don't know what that looks like yet, but I'm thinking it doesn't need to be big or really like intrusive. I think I can do something that is a little bit more silhouette-y, a little bit more hidden in the details of this. And then I know it's a mechanical element. I love stuff like that when I see people build things like that. So I think I want to do that myself. Okay. So making sure I've got my magnets in the right way. How do I want to do this? I know on the outside on this, I'm going to end up covering this up. So with like smaller, thinner pieces, I'm not worried about how messy it gets out here. I am worried about keeping it kind of tidy in here on the inside, because that's where the, you know, space is limited. It's finite, and it can impede, if I'm not careful, it can impede with the mechanical part of this. Because at the end of the day, ultimately, this is just made out of craft foam. So it's not going to be like smoothly engineered as like an automobile, but I can still do a good job. You know what I'm going to do? I've done this before. I'm going to pop the bottom out. I'm going to create a false wall in here with the reinforcer, and then I can put a drop of glue in it, and then I can stick the magnet inside of it, and it will give it a place to press, and it will sploosh that glue all around into the more porous foam. I like that idea. So I need to cut a couple more of these. I'm just going to use it doesn't have to be precise, so I'm just going to use my cutting mat to measure out some 1-inch strips. 1-inch strips? Could I get away with a little bit less? Do I need 1 inch? Can I be a little bit more conservative? I'm going to be a little more conservative. I'm going to do 3/4 inch. And just mark down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. We'll cut those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't need more because I've got one right there. 7, and I can use this one. We'll just trim it down. Not that I needed to, but I like it when they all match. All right, let's put these inside. It's got a little backing on it, so I'm going to peel the backing off. Oh. I've been doing a lot of sanding, so I've been keeping my nails really short, which is good for sanding, but hard to peel stuff apart. Just trying to make it like straight and not crazy in there. Like not a hot dumpster fire mess of tape, which I can also do. Been known to live in the world of more is more. All right, look at, you can see. Well, maybe you can't see, but there's the little, there it is right there. And then the hole for it. Gosh, I hope this works. I hope this makes me look like I know what I'm doing and I'm not just making it up as I go along. This part I've never done before, so I am just trying to figure it out. And in general, I do live by a couple of principles when I build. The first is that you need to build a base with your boundaries in mind. And then the second is to build your mechanism before you make it look pretty and you make it look good. You got to like make sure it works the right way, and then you can build around that, because it really sucks when you build something really, really pretty and it doesn't do the thing it's supposed to do and you have to build it again. I wish I could tell you that was a lesson I read about, or like someone told me, and it was great advice, but I had to learn it. I had to learn it over and over and over again. I made a animatronic xenomorph tail for one of my cosplays, and it has all these segmented elements in it. And my first iteration was one solid piece. And there's like a lot of foam that I cut out and I laminated together, and then I carved with a rotary tool, like hours and hours and hours of work. And it worked. Like, I made it pretty before I figured out how to make it work. So it didn't work. It was a solid state tail. And then the next one, I did the same thing. I made all the pieces without figuring out the mechanism. And so when it didn't work, that was all hours lost. And you could argue like I got better at making the pieces every single time, which is totally true. By the third time I made them, they were beautiful. And I made sure the mechanism worked the first time, before I did all the pretty work. Okay, so I am going to move that aside. I hope you can still hear me. Let me know if you can't. I'm going to take my super glue. Oh, no, wait. Hold on. I will put these magnets in backwards if I don't have this installed in first, like to guide me. Guaranteed. It's Murphy's Law. Okay. Got my basin. I'm going to put a drop of super glue in these openings. And then I'm going to put not that way. Put my magnet in. Yeah, and shear it off. And then I put my magnet in. And I shear it off. Okay. We got 2 magnets. Let's do the next one. I immediately forgot which way my magnets go because I put them down and I wasn't paying attention. Gosh darn it. This way, this way. I get my magnets from KJ Magnetics. It's a magnet supplier in the United States. And you don't have to source your magnets there in particular. You can source them anywhere you want. I do like that their neodymium magnets are like really, ooh, I just got glue everywhere. Oh, I just glued the bottom to the bottom. Their magnets are really strong, really reliable, and you can choose on some of them like how you want the poles to be. Oh, that one. Well, I knew that was going to be a little bit big because I used the wrong size punch on that. Okay, I think it's okay. I'm going to go quick and then I'm going to take this apart. Super glue. It's not you that has failed me. It's me that has failed me. Get this in. Last ones. Oh gosh. Oh man. There we go. Okay. Boop. Get that out of there. And now I can do some little like finger presses to really get them in there. Get them down into the reinforcer. Because they don't need to stick on the outside. They need to be close to the inside of it. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, the glue's coming out the side. That means I got that one in there good. You didn't just see me wipe that on my hand. Not good practice. Okay. There we go. Magnets are installed. But it looks right, so it should. Oh my, right? It looks right. So why doesn't it work? I don't get it. She said. Why doesn't it work? Man. And you know, the funny thing is, after I make all those pretty pieces and then it doesn't work, I don't want to get rid of them. And so I think to myself, like, oh, I'll use these in another project. And they just keep piling up and piling up and piling up. There we go. Nice. Okay. That's not so bad. That's got a good stick to it. I can still punch it out when I need to, but we're just going to let that set. I wonder if I should have used stronger magnets. Here creeps in the self-doubt. Maybe that would have been better. Nope, it's fine. 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 Should I have that? Let's see. What do I have? Well, I can't take them now. I'd have to redo the entire thing. I just gotta see it through. Trust the process. I don't trust the process. Oh no, I think it's gonna hold. I think it's gonna hold. That paired with like a dowel poking through. I can make a little thingy. You know, I can make more. And I can make it decorative. I can make it pretty so that it doesn't what it is. That's good. It's good. Have a mechanical element for every attachment point. Don't just rely on your magnets. They will fail you because they're just magnets. Okay. The base is made. The magnets are installed. Reinforcer is applied. The next step, I think, is probably to start to work on the thing that goes inside of it. I've sat on this idea of making like these cranky, magical, carnivorous plants inside and then using all the fairy lights to light them up. And I love it. I love that idea so much. So I need to build something that like the plants are going to grow on, like a stump or a log or a stick, because I think there should be a couple different types of plants. And when I like imagine a magical forested ecosystem of carnivorous, venomous, monstrous, magical plants, I picture like a decaying log or a mossy covered rock, and then all these things growing on it, like larger ecosystems. How do I want to do that though? Brought some stuff up so that I can play around. I've got, like aluminum foil, and I have foam clay, which I really like to work with. There are pros and cons. Out of me, a video that I posted